Alright, so currently at the gym, 3 days out. Just to give you guys an idea of what my normal day looks like. Right now, obviously, I'm doing cardio. Probably because the way I'm moving on the camera. So, for cardio, usually stick around a 9-ish incline, 2.4 to like 2.8 speed, just to get your heart rate going, especially right after workout. Honestly, big things I've learned, just starting my watch, big things I've learned is that 20,000 steps a day is pretty normal, for me at least. I mean, I get between 20 and 25 most days, which really, it's not that bad. It sounds pretty, like that's a lot, but when you're walking as much as you do, that is going to be huge to be able to eat as much calories as possible, not lose muscle mass. Obviously my macros have been all over the place. Right now I'm at 50 grams carbs because it is 3 days out, so this is my last depletion day. 50 grams carbs, 40 grams fat, 220 for the protein. Yesterday I had around 1,400 calories. It was pretty similar. Carbs were 50 to 70, so I was right around 60 at the end of the day. Try to be in that range, and honestly I was trying to be towards the lower end because the day before had a little more carbs, and right now we're just trying to deplete everything out of you. So when you're doing a show like that, it's gonna be huge. Next couple of days I'm gonna have some more carbs just depending on how I look, so I am excited for that. I've just learned a lot though, honestly, when it comes to like what you really need to do, how to stay lean. I'll do a video on that as well. Just because I know a lot of people are looking to not necessarily do a show, but get pretty lean and stay there. And getting to 10 to 12% body fat isn't as hard as people make it seem. It's really just gonna come down to your work ethic and your ability to stay in that calorie range. For me, my deficit has lasted for about 7 months, so it's pretty difficult. I originally wanted to do a show in March, but with how everything's going in March time frame, I just didn't have the finances to just drop. It's probably about $600-700 to do a show, between like you have to buy a membership, you have to pay for the tanning, you have to pay for shorts, you have to pay for all that stuff, which I'm also doing 2 shows, so I'm doing classic and men's physique. So just trying to bring my best package, and considering everything financial wise too, I postponed the show. So I was in a maintenance at like around 10% body fat for 2-3 more months, which now I'm leaner than that. I'm probably around 8 right now. Maybe it's a tad bit leaner, but we move and it looks different too. So that's a huge thing a lot of people won't tell you, is when you're comparing yourself to people who are blasting gear, who are on steroids, who are older than you, the muscle maturity is gonna look better. They're gonna look leaner just because they had more time to develop the physique and just the muscle maturity. Like for me, I'm probably around 8, but if you compared me to someone taking gear at 8%, they would look leaner because of the just vascularity and overall muscle condition and fibers, and the way they look. But this is my first one. I'm doing a debut. It's in Des Moines, Iowa, so it'd be nice to see some people out there. But it's a NANBF. I'm super excited for it. I'm hoping just to do well. If I bring my best package and I'm dead last, that's okay. It's my first one, but that's not the goal. Obviously I want to win. Obviously I want to push past everything and be be able to show that, you know, you can do anything that you put your mind to. Because I've been cutting for so long, I know I'm putting in a lot more work than a lot of other people. Probably most everybody is how I feel. Just I've been in that deficit for so long, but you know, I'm gonna get better. It's only up from here. But those are just things that I've learned and taken away from this so far. It's just cardio is gonna be huge. Hitting your calories every day, your macros every day, keeping your protein high on a cut. That's all important stuff. I saw a really good video from Brody Shreds on how to stay lean too, which I'm sure most of you guys know who he is. But so Brody, what he does is he keeps his macros 40 40 20. So 20% fats, 40% carbs, 40% protein, which is, it's a good structure because so fats have the most calories. Fats have 9 calories per gram. Protein and carbs are both 4. And carbs are what make you feel good. Fats are for like regulating your hormones. Proteins for building muscle. They're all important. But with 20% fats, really, if you keep yourself over like 25 to 30 grams of fat a day, at least, you'll be in a pretty good spot. Obviously, that's gonna be miserable if you're on a cut, because you know that was like some of my lowest days. But you're not gonna affect your hormones severely bad. But really, you should try to be around, just depending on what your goals are. But if you keep 40 40 20, you'll be in a pretty good spot, or at least around that. You know, obviously not every day is perfect. Main thing when you have bad days, I always try to make it up with cardio. So just calories in, calories out is a real thing. So if you burn 1,500 calories doing cardio after you had a cheat meal, the effects won't be as bad, which you probably shouldn't do that too. But at the same time, if you're just focused on hitting the number, cardio you can kind of put in there so that you can eat a little more. But I wouldn't suggest doing that all the time. And I do think that refeeds or cheat meals should be like once a week if you do them. When prepping for a show though, it's always good to have a coach and someone who will be able to help you through that, because the way you look and everything, that's going to be on them to figure out what you need to do. And if you do need a cheat day, or if you don't, if you look watery, if you look flat. So for those first timers doing shows, highly recommend getting a coach. I have a coach myself. And I do have a personal training certification and everything like that, and I still have a coach. So it's always good to get a second opinion and someone who's done it before, because it is my first show. I wanted some extra help. So, but I know this probably seems like I just rambled on for a while, but this is kind of just some things I've learned. Probably do a couple other parts just to tell you guys some more information. But yeah, big 3 takeaways I would say is cardio, 100%. You got to keep your cardio up, get your steps. I think like 20,000 steps. It's pretty easy to stay lean doing that. Splitting your macros correctly, like the 40 40 20 split I was talking about, that's a really good split. Keep your macros in line and make sure you're not losing muscle mass while on a deficit. And then the last thing is just effort. Effort's got to stay the same. Don't be in the gym and be half-butting it because you're on a cut and then making excuses. Oh, my numbers are going down. Your numbers are going to go down a little bit, but you need to push past that. Try to continue to keep your numbers in any way, shape, or form. Like, maybe you won't be able to bench, 315 anymore, but if you can still rep out 225 for 10 to 12, that's the idea. Keep your muscle endurance as high as possible. Keep your volume and intensity up. Do what you can to maintain everything you got. And then, if you fit those 3 into place, you should be able to maintain as much muscle mass as possible on your cut and just look good at the end of it. So that was it for today. Thank you guys for watching and supporting. Probably gonna cut up some of that, but thank you guys. Bye.